Welcome students of class 9th. So I'll explain the topic change of state of matter. Okay. So till now what we have understood is that matter can exist in three states, that is the solid state, liquid state and gaseous state. So let me take one example here. Water exists as a solid in the form of ice, liquid in the form of water. Okay. So similarly, and as a gas in the form of steam or water vapor. So the question that naturally arises is, are the three states of matter interconvertible? Can we change one form of matter to another? So the answer to this question is yes, we can change the physical state of matter in two ways. Number one, by changing the temperature, and number two, by changing the pressure. So I'll discuss in details how we can change the temperature and what is the effect, what happens to the structure, what happens to the physical states when physical state of matter. We can change the state of matter by changing the temperature. So what do we mean by changing the temperature? By changing the temperature means that we can either heat it or cool it. So when we say that, we can say that the change of state of matter by heating, that is increasing the temperature, and by decreasing the temperature, that is cooling. So what is the effect of change of temperature? By increasing the temperature, a solid can be converted into liquid state and the liquid can be converted into the gaseous state. Similarly, by decreasing the temperature, a gas can be converted into liquid state and a liquid can be converted into solid state. Now, these points will become more clear from the next discussion. Solid to liquid. This change of solid to liquid is called melting. Suppose we heat ice, it changes into water. In this case, what happens? The solid ice changes into liquid water. So, this process in which a solid substance changes into liquid on heating is called melting or fusion. It is also called as fusion. It is already given in the slide, you can see. Process in which a solid substance changes into liquid on heating is called melting or fusion. So when ice changes into water, it is called melting. But melting takes place at a definite temperature. This definite temperature depends on the substance. For example, ice melts at 0 degrees Celsius. The wax melts at 63 degrees Celsius. Iron melts at, the solid structure iron, yes, it melts at 1535 degrees Celsius. Solids have a, okay, the temperature at which a solid substance melts and changes into liquid at atmospheric pressure is called as the melting point of the substance. So just now I have given you some examples of melting points. So this melting point of a solid is actually a measure of the force of attraction between the particles. So force of attraction between the particles means the atoms or the molecules. Now, higher the melting point of the solid substance, the greater will be the force of attraction. So that is the reason the melting point of iron is very high, that is 1535 degrees Celsius, which tells us that the force of attraction between the particles of the iron is very strong. So this is, from this slide, what we have understood is about melting point. I have given you some examples of solids which have very high melting point. The next change of state will be from liquid to gas. Okay, liquid to gas, that is boiling, or it is also called as vaporization. So generally the process in which a liquid changes into gas rapidly on heating is called boiling. So when water changes into steam rapidly on heating, we call it, simple thing, we call it as boiling of water. So this boiling of liquid also takes place at a fixed temperature. So the fixed temperature at which a liquid boils and changes rapidly into gas is called the boiling point of the liquid. Just like we have studied right now in melting and melting point, similarly, all liquids have a definite boiling point. For example, water. I'll give you the best example. Water, when it is heated at a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, it boils rapidly and forms gas, which we call steam also. So the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. But remember, different liquids have different boiling point. One example I'll give you here, alcohol. Alcohol boils at 78 degrees Celsius. Another example, mercury, it boils at 357 degrees Celsius. So the boiling point of a liquid is also a measure of the force of attraction between the particles. You can now compare the difference between solid and liquid here. I gave you the example of iron, which has a melting point of 1500, how much? 1535 degrees Celsius. And here in case of liquid, so when a liquid is heated, it changes its physical state and finally becomes a gas. You can see in the picture also, liquid is heated, it changes its physical state. The physical state was liquid and then it becomes a gas. The next, we are going to see the next change of state is from gas to liquid. If we cool the steam, you can see in the picture here, if we cool the steam by lowering the temperature, it is converted into liquid water. In this case, a gas, that is the steam, changes into liquid. So a change of state has taken place. And this process of changing a gas to a liquid by cooling is called condensation. In the above activity, it is very clearly visible that this liquid boils, and when the vapors are cooled, these are allowed to cool down, it condenses to form droplets of water. This change from vapor to liquid is called condensation. So what happens when a gas is cooled, then its particles also lose kinetic energy, and so they slow down, moving very close together, and so they are attracted to form a liquid. Now, one thing you must note here, that condensation is just the reverse of boiling. So if condensation is cooling down, boiling is converting it into the steam. So three states of matter we have discussed, three changes of state of matter we have discussed. Now the last one, that is from liquid to solid, which is freezing. The process of changing of liquid into a solid by cooling is called freezing. So freezing, you can read here, it is freezing is nothing but solidification. For example, when water is cooled, it gets converted into a solid, which is called it as ice. This is the simplest example that I can give you here. So freezing, actually, as I told you just now, it means solidification. When water freezes to form ice, then there is a change in the state from liquid to solid state. So one more thing, that freezing is nothing but the reverse of melting. I hope it is clear to you. Freezing is the reverse of melting. Why I am saying this here, I'll give you one example. Just now we have studied the melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius. So the freezing point of water is also 0 degrees Celsius. So change of state occurs during freezing, and so as a result, the freezing, that is nothing but it is known as the reverse of melting. Okay. Now from all this above discussion, we can conclude that state of the matter can be changed by changing the temperature, either by heating it or by cooling it. Okay. So this proves that all the three states of matter are interconvertible. Now next topic that I am going to explain is latent heat. This is also a new topic for you. Okay, the word latent The word latent means hidden. Hidden, yes. So, hidden, why we call it as hidden? Because we cannot see the heat here. Hidden heat. The definition of latent heat says that the heat energy which has to be supplied to change the state of a substance is called the latent heat. That means while changing the state from solid to liquid or from liquid to gas, latent heat does not raise the temperature, but that does not mean that there is no heat supplied. The heat is continuously supplied during the change of state. Only thing is that we cannot see we cannot record the latent heat, right? So why? Because this latent heat cannot be measured by a thermometer. So this heat remains invisible during the entire process of conversion from solid to liquid or from liquid to gas. There are two activities given in your textbook. I'll discuss the two activities because there are two types of latent heat. The first is latent heat of fusion and the second activity based on latent heat of vaporization. Now, these two types will be explained in detail in the next class. Okay. Now for the time being, you just understand what is latent heat and what is the reason behind this latent heat. Why the temperature does not rise. The reason behind why temperature does not rise is because this latent heat that we supply is used in overcoming the forces of attraction. Until and unless all the heat is being absorbed by the molecules, there is no change in temperature. So every substance, this has some forces of attraction between the particles which holds them together. If a substance has to change the state, you have understood that it has to heat has to be applied or it has to be cooled. Yes, so the latent heat which we supply is used up in overcoming the forces of attraction between the particles of the substance. So latent heat does not increase the kinetic energy. And since there is no increase in the kinetic energy, there is no change in temperature. The exact reason why the latent heat cannot be seen and why latent heat does not increase the temperature. So when we talk of heat, we know that it is increase in temperature or something like that we always say. But latent heat, there is no increase in temperature. During the process of latent heat of fusion or melting, what happens? Ice melts, but there is no record in the temperature. The temperature remains at 0 degrees Celsius. Similarly, till all the ice has melted. Similarly, when we talk about latent heat of vaporization, I'll give you the definition in the next class again. So, latent heat of vaporization, during that time also, all the liquid is vaporized. Unless and until all the liquid is vaporized, the temperature remains the same and the heat is only utilized to break the intermolecular forces of attraction. Okay, so with this I'll conclude. Now your work is to read the chapter once again, and I have given a few questions which are based on the previous topics that we have discussed. I have not given purposely anything on latent heat because again I'll be explaining this in the next video. Okay, thank you.